Round 2. And no, not the round 2 in Bloons TD, but the round 2 of me trying to get 2 million pops with the semi-automatic sniper. I have actually attempted to do this a while back. I think it was over a year ago, and that's one of the videos in which I actually set out to do something and I failed. I didn't actually get it. So today we are gonna go into round 2. Now I do remember that video pretty vividly, not only because it was a fail that I uploaded, but because I know that I could have done better, and actually your guys' comments helped out a lot. So to give you guys a little bit of a context, I actually, not even that I failed with the semi-auto, but I actually bought the full auto during that video and I still wasn't there. I was about 50k pops short, I think, give or take, and that's actually not good. I mean, you could do a lot better than that, especially if you buy different towers, and that was my mistake. So in that video, I went for an ultra boost, and I feel like that was probably the worst tower that I bought out of all of them, but your guys' advice in the comments was actually really helpful. So for example, you told me that we should probably be going for call to arms instead of the ultra boost, maybe buy something like the elite sniper as well. And actually, this next piece of advice was just like so ridiculous that it makes perfect sense, but I would never in 100 years remember to do something like that. So you guys know how DDTs are camo balloons, and if you go for the night vision goggles on the sniper, you're gonna do 2 extra damage to camo balloons. Now the thing is, in that specific run, which was by the way done on logs as well, I also had a sub over here in the middle. When the sub reveals the DDTs no longer have the camo property, and thus the sniper doesn't do the extra 2 damage to them. And so the advice was, when you're facing DDTs, you should actually unsubmerge the sub. That makes so much sense, and at the same time, I would never in 100 years remember to do anything like that. So armed with your guys' advice and also just a different set of, I guess, towers and a different strategy that I have for this one, let's try and see if we can make it happen. And if not, we're gonna use the full auto. I don't mind buying the full auto. It actually got a nice buff recently, so we can actually try it. Now 2 million pops with the semi-auto is actually possible, and I'm not gonna be the first one to ever do it, but some of the videos that I've watched actually use a total transformation alchemist in order to transform the semi-auto and then do damage to the balloons like that, which is obviously, well, it's absolutely allowed, by the way, by 2 million pops standards, but it's not something that I want to do myself. So we're not going to be using a total transformation alchemist. We're just going to try and see it if this thing is going to be able to do it by itself, and then if not, we're just going to buy the full auto and it's going to be fine. I'm going to consider that a win as well. So 31, let's see how we do on this one. Oh, the sub is actually going to attack one of these zebras, isn't it? And it's going to make them regrow. Oh my god, one of these darts kind of, it popped the zebra, so hopefully we don't break up these guys too much so that we don't create a regrow farm for ourselves. But then look at the alchemist. Oh, I should probably go something like last on this guy just so I don't allow these zebras to regrow. Now that's a huge wave. This is probably not happening. So what if I do something like this? I submerge the sub, I give this guy the jar of pickles, and then we slow down these guys a little bit. I feel like if we have something like, where do we want to drop the glue actually? Maybe we have it like this, and it seems like the glue is actually doing it. I mean, it's only these 2 which can regrow. Hopefully they don't regrow too much. Yeah, we beat this one, but that was an expensive round. A glue, jar of pickles, and the submergence support. We would have bought this thing anyways, but it was an expensive one to beat. Alright, so we need to hold on for 1.3k, and then if we do, we have the semi-auto. That's gonna be super difficult, by the way, because the next round that's coming after this one is 36, and that is if we beat this one, because this one is gonna get a little bit annoying with all these balloons at the back. The sub is really trying, guys, but I don't think that this is happening. Maybe we need to give the jar of pickles to the sub, which is ridiculous, but I feel like might be the play. Let's see how we do on this last track where we do the most amount of damage. Then it's not looking good because all these black balloons, they pop into like pinks and yellows. Yeah, oh man, spending just so much money before we get to the semi-auto. This is not looking good. I mean, as long as we survive 36, I think during 36 we're gonna have the money for it. Yeah, there we go. That's 35. All right, so just survive these guys, huge waves of pink balloons, and then we're gonna have the money for the semi-auto, and I think that's when we stabilize. So this thing is 3.1k, and I think we have the money. Yes, finally, right about now, let's buy this thing. And I think now it's time for us to submerge this up. It's taking 2k pops, not a lot, but you know, you don't want to have these pops add up. The alchemist is like 680. Is Geraldo attacking, by the way? I never checked. No, he's not. He's 0 pops. It's really good. I think there might have been a point in time in which this tower did extra damage versus Moab class balloons, if I'm not mistaken. I think that the full auto does, but I'm not sure if the semi-auto does. So as you guys saw, he can still take care of like these small Moab class balloons, but we're gonna need a lot of buffs to make this thing happen. So first things first, I think I'm gonna go for the stronger stim, just get it over with the alchemist. And next up, I'm gonna be going for the overclock NG, and then I wanted to get the elite sniper actually, because the elite sniper has a buff to all other snipers, increasing their attack speed. Not sure how worth it's gonna be overall, but I think I want to give it a shot anyway. So let's just buy it. We're gonna have a decent amount of cash left over now that we're not going for the ultra boost. But look at our boy go. That was round 49. He's just breezing through these rounds, guys. Our boy is so good versus these like mid-game rounds. The only thing is that I'm hoping that I didn't mess up the placement onto this guy, the supply dropper, and eventually the elite sniper, because once this guy starts attacking, he's gonna do like, I don't know, like hundreds of damage per shot. And actually noticing how these rounds are going, because these Moabs and their leftovers are kind of going onto these bottom tracks, I feel like we might want to get something like a glue a little bit earlier. So maybe we start with the relentless glue first, and then we get a glue hose actually here towards the right side to slow down these ceramics a little bit. Let's see how we do on 54. Oh, look at this thing. It's actually kind of getting close here towards the last track. Oh, is this gonna happen? Because if we pop this mob, we're gonna have the elite sniper and we're gonna get a huge attack speed bonus. Oh, but this one is actually gonna leak. Is it? Ooh, super close. All right, so let's start with the elite sniper. Let's buy this guy, and then let's have our guy get a little bit of extra attack speed. I don't remember what the exact number was, but I just wanted to buy it. I actually promised I'm gonna buy it in the previous video that I made, and I never did, so I'm gonna buy it in this one. So here we go. All right, now let's see how we do versus these 45 mobs. I feel like they're gonna be a little bit more difficult, but I don't think that we're gonna have a lot of issues with them, right? Especially with Jerry's fire. Am I wrong about that? I see a full 45 mob, and the guy at the back is barely damaged. Oh, we might have an issue with this one, actually. Are we even gonna pop the first one? No, even the first one is gonna leak. Okay, I mean, honestly, this was like a long overdue upgrade, so let's just buy it. We're gonna have this thing for the entirety of the game, so might as well buy it now and just make our life a lot easier. So let's get the mob glue going. And how much of a difference is this gonna make? I mean, the first guy is gonna pop like right here on the second horizontal track, and the second one is gonna pop here as well. So yeah, definitely should have bought this thing a lot earlier, I'm pretty sure. And let's see how we do versus round 63, because this is one of those. I feel like we're gonna do it, especially thanks to the shrapnel, but I'm kind of concerned anyway. So we should probably be buying, or I should say just giving stuff like this, the jar of pickles and the sharpening stone to the sniper, just to make the round a little bit easier. And I think we actually dealt with the first wave. It was a good idea that we bought this guy, by the way, the glue. Watching this tower attack, it's so unlikely that this thing is gonna be able to by itself do the 2 million pops thingy, but there are a lot of support towers to buy as well. So yeah, let's just get on with buying those towers. So next up is gonna be the overclock, and then we have to buy the village, by the way. We have to get the jungle drums at least. Really good that we're taking care of these rounds so easily, I want to say, but this one might be a problem actually. So let's use the overclock, and then can we do something else? I mean, we could definitely give it the Jerry's fire, but I can already see the regrowth happening, guys. Oh no, this is not gonna work out, is it? Do we need to like maelstrom this round or what? That's so many regrowths. All right, so here's what we can do. This is gonna cost us a little bit of money, but it's better to do it like this at the expense of wasting pops, I think. And we can do this. We can buy like 2-1-1-0 villages with the grow blocker. Let's overclock this guy and let's buff him up as much as possible. Give him the Jerry's fire and everything. And does this village have the? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the grow blocker. Let's buy it on him as well. And now let's see how much of a difference this is going to make. So as long as we just stop these guys from regrowing, I feel like we have the damage, right? And let's see, is it gonna be enough? I mean, this is so much better than last time. It's actually crazy. Oh my god, it's not even close. Wait, we don't even need the second village, it looks like, because these guys, they just popped halfway through. Is this one gonna be a problem? I mean, we are ready with these anti-regrow villages. Are they actually gonna save the day again? I think they are, and now the right village is actually doing something. When I paused the game on 76, by the way, I wanted to restart and just buy one here on the left, because it seemed like we didn't need the village on the right. But guys, 3 rounds later, and this thing actually does something. I'm super happy that I didn't do that. All right, so we're entering free play mode. Let me overclock this guy, and this is the part of the game where he's actually gonna start struggling versus small balloons as well, which goes for ceramics mainly. I guess each mob only drops to 1, but at the same time, that one ceramic is gonna be super beefy, and he's gonna be spending a lot of time just, you know, drilling the hole into one of these ceramics. Oh, this is not looking good for the semi-auto, is it? Look at 84, a bunch of small mobs. These guys, we're probably gonna take care of them, especially when they come onto this bottom horizontal track, but it's not looking good, guys. I mean, we could probably afford the call to arms in a second. I did buy some small support towers. I bought this thing, the 032 glue hose. So if we deal with these mob class balloons, I think we're gonna get the money for the call to arms. Actually, let me just check. Oh, look at this thing, 21.6. Let's buy it, and you know what? We're actually gonna have the call to arms for the BFBs. That's insane if we actually make it happen like this. All right, so that's the last of the mobs, and now it's gonna turn its attention to these BFBs, and I'm gonna wait for them to come onto this like vertical track so that we have a straight line down for our shrapnel, and just wait a little bit more, and I think it's go time. Okay, so let's use the call to arms. Let's see how much damage this thing is gonna do. I think we're gonna get at least 2 rounds of the call to arms on this specific round, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, definitely. Oh, you can definitely feel the call to arms. And how much of a difference is this going to make in the long run? I don't know. In comparison to the ultra boost that we had in the previous time that we tried this, I actually don't know. Round 89 is ending. This is the barrier that we failed to broke last time. So can we actually do it? I made sure to save the call to arms, and I think that we have a good shot at beating it right now. Oh, let's actually unsubmerge this up. We revealed one of them. Let's use the call to arms, and this time it's not even gonna be close, is it? Nope. We actually go past the barrier of round 90. All right, so first off, let's do a pop count check, and then I want to tell you guys my thoughts of just watching these past 3 rounds. So let's check the Alchemist. 5k pop is really nice. The sub at 2.4, so let's round this thing to 8.4 in total, and then the NG is doing a little bit as well, 1.4. Okay, so let's round all of these guys up to like 10,000 pops, so we still have about 32,000 pops to play with. But I've been actually noticing something in these past 3 rounds, and is that we probably shouldn't have bought this guy, the elite sniper. The idea of extra attack speed is really nice, but I think that we would have had a lot better usage of the money spent if we would have bought something like, I don't know, like an absolute zero, or just maybe a little of extra cash to avoid the glue storm, because it's like +2 damage to all balloons. So I'm not saying that we're gonna lose, but I don't know. I've just been watching this guy struggle more and more as these rounds are coming out. I feel like if we beat this one, then the last round for this tower is probably going to be 92 actually in all those 45 Moabs. So let's see how we do on this one first. I think I'm gonna use the call to arms a little bit earlier, so we might get a second Oh, we're not getting a second usage out of it. Those BFVs just evaporate. Okay, so let's make sure we defeat these guys while they're on this specific horizontal track. All right, so we're defeating them, and then these BFVs at the back. How many of them is there? There's like 2 BFVs at the back. Can we defeat like 2 BFVs on this? This is the best track, so if we cannot defeat 2 BFVs, this is like not looking good in general. It's kind of close, but we actually do have this one. Okay, it's very good. So round 91 is done, and now this is a very problematic round because 45 Moabs and then a bunch of ZOMGs behind them. So let's see what can make happen with these rounds. So we do have the money for the glue storm, I think, give or take. So let's just first off see how we do. We're gonna have the call to arms in a second. I'm gonna use it as soon as we deal with these 45 mobs. I actually think that we might have a decent chance of dealing with the ZOMGs, but yeah, the 45 mobs are just way too much for the semi-auto, it seems like. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me place a couple of these creepy idols. I think I want to have them here on the bottom track so we can get some pushback, but at the same time we want to get some stuns as well from them so they keep these balloons in place. Let's use one more call to arms. So this is like a good intersection with these guys for making, you know, the taking the bend and actually going the bottom track, and we're just doing so much damage with the shrapnel. And look at this thing, this is so much better than last time, but we just need to hold, just hold over here, and then we probably have the round, honestly. Oh my god, Jerry's far as well. Just get those balloons. I think we're gonna lose this time, but we actually have a chance of beating this round, guys. Yeah, we're gonna lose now, but we're actually gonna beat it if I give it a couple of shots, I think. Is now the time for it? I bought 4 creepy idols. I placed all of them, and I think we are finally gonna deal with the 45 mobs. It just goes to show how annoying these guys are for the semi-auto. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so that might have been a mistake because I don't know how fast these creepy idols restock. We're kind of far from level 20 in the full restock on the shop, but you know what? We're just playing it round by round at this point. So let's just use all abilities. We're gonna have the glue storm in a second, so that's really nice. Alright, and there it is. 92 dealt with, and then 93 incoming. A bunch of DTs. Let's make sure we don't forget to do the... Oh, wait a second. Are we gonna defeat these guys before they take the bend? Yes, there we go. Alright, so that's 92 defeated, and then for 93, let's make sure we unsubmerge this sub so the DTs remain DTs, or I should say remain cow blues. Let's overclock and let's use all abilities because we do want to get rid of these DTs as fast as possible so that we... Oh, wait a minute. What's revealing them? So they're becoming yellow. Something's revealing them. I don't know what it is. Are we dealing with them, though? I think we are, actually. This is, like, not even close with DTs. It's really nice. Alright, let's submerge this guy back. He took like 500 mobs, I think, from this round only. Yeah, not good, but I don't think that we're doing too bad either overall. So, yeah, this is definitely so much farther than we went last time. I'm just so happy that things are turning out like this. No, only 4 45 wise, but this is the worst possible place of the tracks. Hopefully the glue storm does something. Oh, no, don't tell me we're gonna lose round 93 like this. That's gonna be the saddest way to lose it. Hopefully these creepy idols do something. Please get the glue going onto them. Glue storm is still going. This is so ridiculously close. Oh my god. I have the call to arms, but no, okay. Okay, that was actually ridiculously close. I don't like having rounds like that at all. Let's check the buffs, by the way. So Joy's fire, 1 round left. Let's use all the buffs on our towers. Let's use all the abilities, and then we're gonna do a pop count check. So let me use the call to arms. Let's use the glue storm as well. And so let's check the alchemist. So 8,000 pops. Okay, so these guys are racking out some pops actually. The sub at 2.8. Let's actually round this thing to 3,000 pops to round up this guy to 8,000 pops. So that's gonna be 11. Then the edgy at bottom at 3. So that's 14,000 pops in total. That is, these guys are actually racking out the pops. These guys don't have a lot of damage by themselves, but the alch is just in such a good spot. And each time we use the call to arms, because it's global, all of these towers, they get like a huge damage above themselves. And just take a look at this one. Round 94. I want to say not even close because there are no 45 balloons on this one, but actually just making it at this point, I feel like for the towers that we have and the setup that we have, you can definitely call this thing an easy round, I feel like. Alright, so 95, this is the big one, guys. So if we can defeat this one, then we're probably going to defeat 96 as well, although that's like a question mark because it has a lot of 45 wise, but let's just take it round by round. Let's see how we do on 95 like this, and then we have $11,000 which we can use to buy a Sabo, but so far, how is 95 looking? Not that good, guys. Not that good, really. I can see the balloons just, and these ETs just like cruising through, especially in the bottom track, so let's try with the Sabo. And as soon as these guys come out, let's use all abilities at once, and we do even have the money for a redraft if necessary, but let's hope that we don't. Let's also unsubmerge the sub, by the way, so we don't decamo them. We decamo a huge portion of them, so we might even want to restart this round if things don't go as well, but how is everything looking? I think we have to redraft this for sure. Yeah, let's redraft. Let's use all abilities again, and do we have this one? So many DTs. They're stacked really nicely, by the way. We even have one creepy idol, which I'm gonna use. Not sure if this thing works in deities, by the way, but how is it looking? I think there's like 4 deities left, 3 of them left. Oh my god, we definitely have this one. So let's try and be a little bit better with the usage of our abilities, I think. So let's try and combine them. Let me start off with the overclock because it has a huge uptime, and let's try and see what we can do. So I think we could just use the glue storm just like that. We need to make money, by the way, for one single rejuve because we don't have it. It's 2.1 here. We have 1.9. So I think this is gonna be like a fine usage of the Sabo. The Sabo doesn't last throughout the entirety of 95, so we're gonna have to do this. So let's do a rejuve, and the glue storm is gonna expire, but I don't mind it too much. So let's use one more glue storm, and then now I think soonish, yeah, let's do it now. Let's use the Sabo, let's use the call to arms, and this right here is the exact spot in which we need the shrapnel to just do the majority of the damage. So how is it looking versus the deities? Oh my god, it's so much better than last time. Is this the +2 damage that we got? Yeah, we defeated the deities. We have, by the way, $900. So this run is probably about to end, and if we don't defeat these guys with the abilities that we have, then we're probably gonna have to do something else. But this is pretty much the best run that I've had so far versus round 95 because I've attempted this round so many times. Are we even gonna get like some of these abilities back? I mean, we're gonna get the glue storm, which I'm gonna activate, but it's not looking good for these other abilities. No, alright, I think this is about it. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy the full auto, which does have +2 damage on the shrapnel, which is really nice. I'm gonna try and get the Sabo again on a very, very important tower for this round, and I know that we didn't make it happen with the semi-auto, but this still works because in the video that I recorded over a year ago, I actually bought the full auto as well, and I wasn't able to do it with this guy either. But I think my mistake in this specific run is just buying this guy, the elite sniper. I feel like maybe we should have went for something like an absolute 0, and that would have just frozen all of these like DDTs and everything, and that would have been fine. Let's, by the way, use all the abilities and not forget. And look at how much better this guy is. Oh, let's buy the Sabo, by the way. Let's not forget to buy the Sabo. And is he actually gonna take care of all these DDTs in one round of abilities? I feel like he is. I mean, the abilities have ran out mostly, and he is still just is he destroying these DDTs? You bet he is. Let's get the glue storm and the Sabo going. We have one more call to arms and the overclock. Let's use all these abilities. Can I save the call to arms? I don't think I should. Let's just use it. Let's just get rid of this round, and there it is. So much easier with this full auto. But yeah, this is probably the mistake, guys. The elite sniper. All right, so let's not upload another failed run, and let's try and get the 2 million pops onto this guy. So let's just use the abilities as best as we can. And also, honestly, before these balloons reach the alchemist, because this guy's stealing pops like crazy. Yeah, look at this guy just smelled all of these, all types of balloons. We even had some of these like fortified balloons at the start, and we just didn't even notice them, I don't think. Yeah, so much better, especially with the +2 damage and the shrapnel. I actually love this change so much. It applies to the elite defender as well, by the way, the extra damage. The elite defender, the 025, is actually a little bit better himself as well. Now let's use the call to arms. So let me check Geraldo's level. So he should be, yeah, he's 19, but when does he restock? I think this is like 98 when he restocks, right? Alright, so if we make a bet that it's on 99, then we can use 2 rejuves on 98, right? And then we're gonna restock, and we're gonna have 2 more for the last 2 rounds. I actually hope it's on 99 because that's gonna be super useful for us. And this is 97, by the way. A bunch of 45s, but like these are beefy ZOMGs. We don't really care about them. And here it is, guys. This is the big one. I'm gonna start this round off by using all the abilities, and then we're probably gonna need to rejuve. So let's just see how much damage we can do with one ability. Let me just check the pops, by the way. 1.6 million on this guy. The Alex sitting at 12k, the sub at 2.8, and then this NG at the bottom at 5k pops. A good thing is that we didn't reach level 20 on Geraldo on this round, which means both of these rejuves are absolutely free. And you know what? I'm actually gonna use them. So let's go like this. Let's use all of these abilities. Let's also make sure we save a little bit of cash from this round in case we do need to buy something for the ban around 100, like a spike storm or something like that. How's 98 doing? I think we're gonna have another round of abilities kind of soonish. Let's try and combine the call to arms with the glue storm on like this vertical line so we can get a lot of damage from the shrapnel. Overclock ran out as well. The overclock is not over 100% uptime for tier 4s. It is exactly 100%, so you have to just keep using it. We have another Sabo going, so let's just spam these abilities as much as possible. Like, we need to just deal with all these 45 blues and all these non-45s. It's not like they're not difficult, but they're not as bad as the other ones, right? Yeah, we have one more rejuve, so let's use the call to arms now, try and do as much damage as possible. And then we have one more rejuve, so we can use it when the balloons are on the bottom track, and I think it's gonna be fine. I mean, I can still see some ZMG surviving through all this, which is insane. Just go to show how beefy these rounds like are in general, right? And let's do it like, oh, do we wait for the call to arms actually, or do we rejuve this thing? I think we should wait, right? Yeah, let's wait, and let's actually, I mean, it's not like, at this point, it's not about saving the rejuve because it's gonna restock. It's more of saving the money, right? So let's use the call to arms to see if this is gonna be enough. Do we risk this? Let's not risk it, actually. Let's use all the abilities. Let's overclock. Let's use basically everything that we have. We're gonna have the call to arms ready for the next one, which is really nice. There goes round 98. Very good. So 2 more rounds left to go. This guy is at 1.9 million pops. All right, so both rejuves are ready. Let's start what? By doing this, let's unsubmerge this guy for the extra damage. You know what we should do? We should do this. Give the Sea Invisibility Potion for like +2 extra damage to DDTs. Let's see how this is gonna go. Let's use the Glue Storm as well. And these 45 TDs absolutely melting. Not even close. Wait, is that right? Is it not even close? Yes, of course. These guys are gonna pop next to a Shrapnel now. And there we go. Alright, so let's check the pops on this guy. 1.94. He needs to pop like almost the entirety of this thing by himself, doesn't he? And I feel like getting a Spike Storm or something like that, it's not gonna be the best idea. Let's submerge this guy, by the way. Ooh, what do we do, guys? How do we enhance this guy's damage? Maybe something like an Embrittlement Ice. Actually, let's try and do it through all of these abilities. So let's use the Glue Storm and the Call to Arms for now, and then we have a bunch of cash, so probably we can intervene if necessary. One more Overclock, one more Call to Arms, and how are the pops looking? 1.9. Oh, this is getting super close. This is gonna be super close at the end as well, isn't it? And then we're probably going to need one more round of abilities actually for the ZOMGs that are gonna pop out of this guy. But the question is this guy even gonna pop? Like this is not looking good. If he is not popped up until this point, oh, there we go. He pops. Do we take care of the DTs? We do, I think. Let's use all the abilities. Can we do something with like Geraldo or anything else? Maybe like these guys, these creepy idols a little bit. We are popping the ZOMGs. One of the ZOMGs popped. Let me check the pops. Oh, he's barely over 2 million. Look at this, 2 million and 2,000 pops. Does he actually have it though? Oh, this is extremely close, especially in the last lane. Oh no, no way. All right, and all we can do to make this thing better, we can buy a couple of Embrittlement Ice Towers actually throughout the map. So this is gonna be like +1 damage, but that +1 damage is gonna go a long way, I think. So let's start this thing off and let's use the abilities as much as possible. So let's call like this, Call to Arms as soon as possible in combination with this thing, and then maybe we can get a little bit of extra damage through Geraldo's items, but not too much. So I was thinking of placing all of these like nail mines, a stack of old nails actually. These nails are not gonna do too much damage, but I think this is like controlled type of damage. Like let's say they're gonna take out like 2,000-3,000 pops. That's not a lot, and we can still do it even by placing them. Let's, by the way, use one of the rejuves. Let's overclock. Let's use all abilities again, and then after this one is done, I'm gonna use the second rejuve as well, and I think that we're just good to go by the end of this thing. Yeah, so is the +1 damage from these Embrittlements actually gonna do something? And I guess we bought, oh, of course, wait, look at this thing. So we did get a lot of extra damage, it seems like, from these nails, I think, but let's just check the pops. Oh my god, this thing it needs like 20,000 pops. Hopefully he just gets all the pops by himself, and I think it's gonna be fine actually. Let's use the overclock. About 8,000 pops remaining. Let's use the Call to Arms. How many pops left, guys? 5,000 pops. Is there like 5,000 pops in one ZOMG? Hopefully there are. 3,000, 2,000. Yes, we get through it. Yes, and I think we actually do have it this time, and finally we actually do it. Oh my god, it's so relieving actually that I'm not gonna have to upload another L video, but I guess doing it with the semi-auto is still possible with something like a total transformation, and then maybe we could have switched this Elite Sniper with an absolute zero. But honestly, I'm gonna take this thing because last time that we tried this, even with the full auto, we were not able to do it, and this time we barely do it with 9,000 pops, so I'm actually gonna take this one. And that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.